we build up to 7 o'clock tonight. It is that moment that most South Africans have been waiting for at least since the end of the ANC's 55th National Conference in January this year, at which there were a number of changes of its national executive, and one of them led to the recent resignation of the Deputy President, David Mabuza, opening the way, apparently, for Paul Mashatile, who was elected at the ANC conference as the Deputy President. But we don't have much to wait. It will be this evening where we'll find out what Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa has decided what his new cabinet should look like. But ahead of this, I'm joined in studio now by political analyst Justice Malala as well to share his insights and views. Are we expecting, Justice, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Are we expecting, or should we expect, a wholesale change or a bold change, or it will just be plastering here and there?
Oh, no, I don't expect Cyril Ramaphosa to do that at all. He hasn't done it in the past since he came to power in 2018. You'll remember with 2018, he just won the ANC presidency. It was a very slim margin. He brought in some of the so-called RET crowd, the Jacob Zuma supporters. He brought in a few of his own people, but it wasn't wholesale. And then you had 2019. Then he fiddled a bit. Then you had the July 2021 riots. Then he fiddled a little bit after that. But it hasn't been a wholesale, and I don't expect Cyril Ramaphosa to go wholesale on this one. I expect him to fiddle again, to move a few people about, and not to do the big wholesale big kick that South Africa needs.
You know, I'm so pleased you've reminded us about the July riots, because everybody expected that the police minister wouldn't survive. The defense minister didn't survive. Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, she ended up in parliament as a speaker. People were looking at the security cluster, and the police were pivotal, and they failed dismally. But Mr. Bekele has survived.
He did survive, and remember why he survived. First of all, Bekele was one of the kingpins who went into KwaZulu-Natal in 2016, 2017 and campaigned for Cyril Ramaphosa and delivered largely half of KwaZulu-Natal in 2017. So he survived that despite the fact that military intelligence failed. Another non-survivor of that reshuffle was Ayanda Dlodlo, who was State Security Minister, and their position was in a way relegated to a deputy minister in the presidency, being Zizi Koto. I expect probably that Cyril Ramaphosa might fiddle a bit with that position in this instance, and that there might be an elevation. But in general, Cyril Ramaphosa has been a man who works very, very, very. He consults. He speaks to a lot of people, and
he moves like a glacier, very slow.
I didn't want to be as harsh as that, but I would agree with you totally without being pinned down on that, because, quite frankly, South Africa has deteriorated over the past 5 years of the Ramaphosa hopefulness, renewal, rejuvenation, while he has acted in this glacial fashion.
I mean, I've seen some of your opinion pieces. I mean, one of the recent ones you speak about, I think this weekend, about there was this hope of this new dawn, just a short while ago. But it's like we are in the doldrums now, we're in darkness.
Absolutely. We had stage 5 load shedding, all these problems pile up. But there was, you know, with Cyril Ramaphosa's administration, it's been many, many hopes. So if you think about December, and when you were talking to Spamandla over there, you referenced it, that we expected something after the ANC conference in December. Nothing happened for 2.5 months. It's been 2.5 months when he could have said, we are in trouble economically. Look at the unemployment numbers, look at the inequality numbers and so forth. We need to do something quickly. He needs to be a man in a hurry. And this, as you say, is a man who moves glacially. And that's not what we need. So quite frankly, that hope that in December there would be let's get rid of this and let's get rid of that person, let's get some new blood, let's get some energy. Well, it's been 2.5 months. You haven't seen that. I don't expect to see much of it tonight.
Okay, let's talk about other names. I raised the name of Bekele because you're reminding me now about the July riots in terms of the impact of what's been going on in this journey. Minister of Electricity. I mean, he's supposed, as Spamandla Goke was reminding our viewers now, it's like a project manager type role, but it's going to be called the Minister of Electricity. I mean, is there an individual who could sort of be, because the president they've moved now, the ANC in parliament has moved by swearing in non-MPs as MPs,
yes,
including Ibrahim Patel earlier today, which means there's room now, according to the constitution, for him to put 2 individuals from outside parliament.
Indeed. I think Sipamandla probably being at the coalface has some names for us and will give us some. I would ask, what are we doing here with electricity and load shedding and the just energy transition? And the big question for me is, go back to 2018. President Ramaphosa says to the nation, my people, I'm going to solve the load shedding issue, the Eskom issue. And he goes out and says, we are going to break up Eskom into 3 units, generation, distribution, transmission, distribution. Now, that's the plan. We're going to do this all over the world. That's what energy suppliers do. That's what electricity suppliers do. And you manage to essentially jumble it up and get people to procure, people to produce on their own, and you solve the problem of energy. China did it. Many other, India's done it on and off and so forth. If that is the plan, you need 3 CEOs for Eskom. At the moment, we've got an advert for 1 Eskom CEO. So the plan from 2018 is still 5 years later, not being implemented. Then you have Gwede Mantashe, the Minister of Energy. You have Pravin Gordhan, Public Enterprises. Then you're going to have a Minister of Electricity. What if you say this person is a project manager? What is the board or the chair of the board of Eskom doing? What is the CEO of Eskom, whoever that person might be, and I wish them luck, going to do? There are too many, just too many cooks in this kitchen. And I feel sorry for whoever's going to be appointed tonight as the Minister of Electricity, because they're going to get there and Gwede is going to say, no, you're touching on energy, that's my bit. And Pravin is going to say, I've been solving this, you whippersnapper coming along, now you think you can tell me what to do? No way. So it's going to be a mess.
Unless they get reshuffled. Thank you very much. Justice Malala, we don't know. Thank you very much. That's political analyst Justice Malala just sharing with us about just less than about 2 hours to go before President Ramaphosa announces his new cabinet. And that's it from me as well.